guys, Will here with W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Chevy Tahoe RST 6.2 Performance Edition.
And a big thanks to Zach at Furman Chevy in Brandon, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Zach.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Tahoe has been a full-size SUV sold by Chevy since 1994. The 5th generation Tahoe that you see here was released in 2021, and last year for the 2023 model year, Chevy added this RST performance package, which adds heavily upgraded brakes and suspension, as well as a performance exhaust and cold air intake, resulting in an addition of 13 horsepower, rated at 433 horsepower with 460 pound-feet of torque. Enough to get this RST Performance Edition to get to 60 in about 5 seconds, maybe about 5.2, which is no joke for a full-size 3-row SUV weighing in about 5,800 pounds. For 2024, the RST sits right in the middle of the pack for the Tahoe with a $67,000 base price, an additional $2,495 for the 6.2, and an additional $9,000 for the performance package. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, we get bold black styling, black Chevy bow tie, full LED headlamps too, LED daytime running light, active airflow in the corners. We get full front parking sensing, a forward-facing camera, 360-degree camera, which we'll check out inside. Very bold and aggressive design. I kind of wish that this vehicle had a different paint color, but I know a lot of you guys like the full murdered out theme. But me personally, I would prefer like a white on black contrast. The wheel and tire setup, this is also pretty cool. We get these black Y-spoke 20-inch rims with a massive Brembo style 6-piston front and brake caliper. And these 20-inch rims are wrapped in police spec Tahoe tires. Firestone Firehawk Pursuits. Dimensions are 275/55 R20. So that was a pretty cool feature, I thought, for this RST performance package, the Pursuit tires. We'll see how they grip, and we'll see how the ride quality is with these 55 series sidewalls. I think the 275 wide tires with this all-wheel drive system should do just fine. Another thing I noticed when I was driving to this parking lot is the suspension is heavily upgraded compared to a regular Tahoe, and these brakes are extremely sensitive. You get these running boards too, blacked out Tahoe badging, LED turn signal on the mirror, additional camera to help us out with the 360, blind spot monitoring on the glass. All black trim for the window trim, all the trim in this vehicle is going to be blacked out for this RST performance package, blacked out B and C pillars. Same rear wheel and tire setup, the only difference is a smaller single piston brake caliper, but I appreciate Chevy still painting it red. We get a push to open gas cap as well with easy fill for this 6.2 premium fuel is recommended. Before we hop out back, let's take a quick look at this window sticker, see all the features and options we have available on this 2024 Tahoe RST. So for 2024, the Tahoe, let me try to recenter this camera. Wow, that sun is brutal. All right, guys, I had to reposition the vehicle because I could not see a thing on the window sticker of this 2024 Tahoe 4-wheel drive RST. Not that this is a whole lot better, but you could at least see something. So the $60,300 base price, hopefully you guys can pause, take a look at all of the standard features. Options, we are loaded. So starting with the $8,965 RST Performance Edition, which comes with this $2,495 6.2-liter Ecotec V8. Cool. So the Performance Edition comes with the rear pedestrian alert, memory settings, heated power outside mirrors, power folding third row, heated steering wheel, power tilt and telescoping steering column, 360 camera, adaptive cruise control, enhanced automatic emergency braking, which replaces the standard auto emergency braking with the driver alert package. We also get the rear cross traffic alert, lane change alert with side blind zone alert, second row power bucket release seats, black nameplates, 275/55/20 SL all-season black wall tires, which are Pursuit grade tires, 20-inch high gloss black aggressive aluminum wheels, high performance suspension package, RST cold air intake system, catback performance exhaust, performance front Brembo brakes, sport pedal cover kit, luggage rack side rails, and that's about it. The black illuminated front bow tie and emblem is $525, $350 for the power sliding console, $225 for the second row and first row floor liners. So after $12,560 in total options and about a $2,000 destination charge, we're sitting a tick under $82,000. So definitely getting up there in price, but this is a loaded and beautiful luxury 3-row SUV. There we go. we're centered again. So out rear, we get LED taillights, at least for the brake light. The turn signal and reverse light appears to be a halogen, and actually the top of the brake light also appears to be a halogen, but the daytime runner is an LED. We get the black badging, RST in the lower right corner also blacked out, full rear parking sensing, tow hitch. I'll leave a link right here to show you what this SUV is rated to tow. We get the performance quad exhaust tips too, with the Chevy bow tie on the top of the tip, and I like the way these quad exhaust tips flare out. Really remind me of something you would get from a Camaro. And of course, since 2021, the Tahoe's had a independent rear suspension. But speaking of the exhaust tips, let's fire up the 6.2 liter V8 and hear how she sounds. All right guys, that was the sound of this monster 6.2 liter V8 sold by Chevy for the 2024 Tahoe RST Performance Edition. And it sounds really good with this cold air intake system and catback exhaust, giving us an additional 13 horsepower and 7 pound-feet of torque. So cranking out 433 horsepower, 467 pound-feet of torque. With this all-wheel drive system, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission with a police-grade suspension and these police-grade tires and upgraded brakes, but that doesn't really help the 0 to 60. Enough to get this monster four-wheel drive 5,800-pound three-row full-size SUV to 60 in about 5.2 seconds, making it a no-joke performer. You also notice the strut tower braces to help out the handling quite a bit. I appreciate the hydraulic struts, but to be expected with an SUV in this price point. Shutting the hood right down, we can take a step back, walk around this 2024 Tahoe RST Performance Edition one more time, and taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So up top, we get the red contrast stitched leather with the faux carbon beneath that, more of that soft touch in the center. Gushy soft leather for the armrest, more red contrast stitching. Memory seats, auto one-touch windows up front. Let's set these back to auto so the vehicle's not yelling at me. It's auto one-touch for the way down out rear, but you got to press and hold for the way back up. You get power folding mirrors, four-way adjustable, lock and unlock, a little bit of aluminum and aluminum door handle. 2 tiers of storage. You'll fit a 6-inch sub up top, and you'll probably stack 2 14-inch subs down below with a 24-ounce water bottle in front. We get the Bose Premium Audio System 2, Chevrolet nameplate. As we step inside, the RST Performance Edition gets these nice running boards, helping us get a boost inside. The seats have a little bit of red contrast stitching. They're perforated, decently bolstered for the Performance Edition, fully adjustable. They're heated, unfortunately not ventilated. At this price point, we gotta have ventilated seats. They're fully adjustable though, as we mentioned, 4-way lumbar. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the front seats. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So from the brake, engine start stop, and everything fires right to life. But first thing you notice is the steering wheel. We get red contrast stitching, which follows this RST Performance Edition theme. Decently thick, no 10-2 bolstering notch. It's pretty much a Silverado steering wheel. 9.3 is solid with 3 spokes down below. The horn area is rubberized. The horn is loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. We'll do a window check. We don't get dual panes, but it's a thick single pane of glass. Cruise control settings on the left side, heated steering wheel, forward collision alert, voice commands. You can hang up and answer your phone calls. The adjustments for this infotainment display, you can see all the adjustments for the center. Hopefully you can pick them all up on camera. Cool. We can also see the music, compass, phone information, and the overall settings with the gauge display adjustments. But I personally prefer this display. Let the potential owner adjust all of that. It's a 12.3-inch digital gauge display. We do not get the new GM 13.4-inch touchscreen. It's just the old school 10.25, but still more than enough screen for me. We get auto rain sensitive windshield wipers too. The stocks have a pretty satisfying click. You can turn off the lane keep assist, traction control, access the 360-degree camera at all times. And this camera has an excellent resolution between the front and rear facing. You can also adjust between the top front view for like a car wash view and the rear for like a trailer hitch liner upper if you're trying to attach the hitch to a receiver. You can also see the side blind zone view so you don't scratch up these 20-inch rims for the front and the rear, and an actual trailer hitch view as well. You can turn on or off the guidance lines and trajectory. if you'd like to for one reason or another. You can turn on or off the 360-degree camera as well. To go back to the previous screen, you got to close out of it and just go through all these motions because we're in demo mode, haven't activated this actual system. But continue along, you can turn off the parking sensors to the front and rear. Auto engine start stop, you can disable, we will for the purpose of this review. Four-wheel drive, we have 2 high, 4-wheel drive auto, 4 high, and hill ascent control. Let's see what that actually is. It's just the terrain mode. Cool, we can turn that off. We also have drive mode select. We have sport, normal, off-road, and tow haul. We'll start the review off in sport, transition into normal, and just see what the differences are. Auto headlamp controls, no fog lights, and our interior brightness right over here. Power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Hopefully you get a good look at the aluminum outline pedals. Dead pedal, awesome. Hood latch release right down below. The dashboard is all stitched with red contrast stitching. 10.25-inch touchscreen, as we mentioned. It's not the new 13.4, but it doesn't need to be. It's still an excellent display with GM's new infotainment system. We get our navigation screen. Once it loads up, I'll catch right back with it. All right, guys, now that it's loaded up, this Google Maps display has an excellent resolution and the response is downright perfect. One of the best systems in the business. We also have our voice commands, trailering information. Once it loads up, it's gonna take a second to load up because it's a new vehicle. Phone information, Bluetooth, navigation, which we just checked out. See the song that's currently playing, and our home screen. We also have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Hopefully you pick up everything else we have available. This is probably my personal favorite screen to look at all times, so you can see the song and the map. Beneath that, more stitched material. This is the gear selector controlling the 10-speed auto transmission. Backup camera, we already checked it out. It goes directly into the screen. You can turn the guidance lines back on. You throw it in the park, and after about 2 or 3 seconds, it should return us to the home screen. There we go. We also have our low gear with the gear adjustments, a nice carbonized leather trim with red contrast stitching, air vents that blow directly into your face. We get the hazards to the right of it and a storage cubby above the hazards, decently spacious. Volume and tune dial, skip controls in the center. You can go home for the infotainment and return back. All the vent controls, dual zone automatic climate control, and you can adjust the 3rd zone rear climate with a click of a button from the front seat. We get heated front seats, unfortunately no ventilated seats. That will be expected at this price point. USB-A and C port, wireless charging pad, and a 12-volt right next to it. Cup holders, you'll fit 24-ounce bottles, pass through, good spot for a wallet or a phone. Leather stitching for your knee will often hit. Decent amount of storage in the center console cubby. Gushy soft leather armrest with red contrast stitching. Nice spot for a phone in the center of it. The storage space is decent. It's not quite as deep as a Silverado, but the size of it, as far as like width and length, just about the same. You'll be able to fit probably 18 to 20 12-ounce cans in here. Very, very spacious. The glove box, if I call that the glove box, I apologize, the console. The glove box is pretty large too. You'll fit 25 license plates in there with no problem. Leather stitching on top of it. Just hard plastic for the plastic trim, but really not a big deal. We get an auto dimming rear view mirror. It's not frameless and it's not the digital mirror. The interior lights are LED. You can fold the second row seats down with a click of a button. 3 garage home link settings, no panoramic moonroof. Not a big deal though. That's about it. For the front seat of the 2024 Chevy Tahoe RST Performance Edition, let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the material. So up top, just like up front, we get the leather stitching, faux carbon beneath that, soft touch in the center, and a gushy soft leather armrest, auto one touch for the way down, but you gotta press and hold for the way back up. More 2-tier storage, you'll fit a 6-inch sub, and you'll stack 2 footlongs on top of each other down below. The aluminum grille carries over for the rear Bose speaker as well. Aluminum step-in plate that says Chevrolet. The rear buckets aren't the most bolstered, but there is some bolstering, especially down below, to keep your thighs in place. You can recline them and slide them, but taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings. And right now I have about 7-8 inches of knee room, headroom. I got about 2 inches. So if you're under 6'8", 6'9", you'll have no problem sitting back here. This is the furthest back seat setting too. So this is about as much legroom as you're gonna get. However, we can recline these seats pretty far back. So when I'm reclined, now I got like a foot of headroom. I compromised a little bit of knee room, but I still fit with no problem. And I feel a lot more comfortable back here. However, the 3rd row passenger would probably appreciate it if I lifted my seat back up if there was a passenger back there. We get heated second row seats, third zone automatic climate control, 2 USB-C ports, and some storage with 12 volt down below. You get 2 additional cup holders above the third zone climate control, mat pockets behind both of the front seats. The air vents blow directly into our face, perfect location for them. And that's about it for the second row. The interior light back here, LED just like up front. Let's hop out into the third row, see how much space is offered back there, check out the cargo space, and then take this 2024 Tahoe out for a drive. Hopefully you guys just saw how the second row seat is folded down. We gotta push these third row seats back into place. Taking a step right here, dropping the seat, lifting back up, and putting my third row seat into place. This is a very spacious third row. I still have about 2-3 inches of knee room. The second row passenger still has a ton of space. We get additional air vents to blow directly into our face, LED interior light. It's hard plastic for the armrest. We can fit a 16 to 24 ounce bottle. A little bit of storage behind it too. USB-C port on both sides of this third row seat. It has 3 seat belts back here, but if you have 2 full-size adults, I don't think you'll be able to fit a third adult in the center. You'll probably be able to fit a child or somebody under like 12 years old or somebody under 5 feet tall. As far as adults, I don't think you'll be able to fit 3 of them in this third row, but 2 full-size adults ranging from like 6'2", 6'3", maybe even 6'4" can comfortably sit back here, while 6'4", 6'5" passengers sat in the second row, and the driver could be as tall as they possibly could want. So be able to fit 6 full-size adults, 6 foot to 6'4", in a full-size SUV while still having enough room for a smaller child or a smaller passenger in the center is impressive. But that's why you go with a full-size SUV, is because you want 3 rows of usable space. Pressing this button, we can fold the second row seat down. You gotta press and hold, then you lift this latch and the seat shoots forward, making it extremely easy getting in and out of the third row of this SUV. Another reason why you would go for a full size over the mid-size, simply just because of how easy it is to access that third row. Taking a step out towards the cargo space down below is a button for the electrically opening lift gate, and it gives you a second to get out of the way so you don't get duped in the head. Here are the all-weather floor liners, so hopefully you can still pick up the cargo space behind the third row. I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly how much cargo space is behind the third row, behind the second row, and with the second row folded down. Secret storage, let's see what we got, and if you could pick it up with the floor liners. There's really not a whole lot, but you could throw some car accessories or some secret stuff back there. To fold the third row seats down, you simply just press this button in the down position, or you press and hold. There we go. Headrest falls automatically. Press and hold the other one, and it falls right down, but the second row seat looks like it's in the way. Boom. Nope. And there we go. Cool. We'll drop the other second row seat too. Might as well. And this is the full range of cargo space in the 2024 Chevy Tahoe. There isn't a TV that's not fitting back here. You can fit so much stuff. Unfortunately, for an $82,000 SUV, you're not going to be able to fit like gardening stuff. You'll be able to fit gardening stuff, but why would you want to dirty up the interior? At that point, you should probably go for a Silverado. But in terms of practicality, as a family full-size SUV, for somebody who doesn't want to compromise performance, you've been driving sporty vehicles with V8s your whole life, you still want something with a V8 with a little bit of muscle behind it in terms of exhaust noise, muscle behind it in terms of induction noise, but still has enough room for 6 full-size adults, 7 potential passengers. This is an excellent way to go. We get an additional AC outlet out rear too. That's about it though, guys, for the cargo space. The button to shut the lift gate is right over there, and it gives you a second to get out of the way so you don't get duped in the head. Another thing I didn't mention, guys, the third wiper is hidden right behind this LED third brake light, and there's a button in the corner which can open up the rear glass. So this is one of the last few SUVs that offers this feature. I know the Ford Expedition also offers this feature, as well as like the Toyota 4Runner, but it's running out. This way, if you and your wife or your spouse or even your kids want to go kayaking, you can throw 2 or 3 kayaks through this window. If you have pets in the trunk and you want to throw your groceries back here without your pet jumping out and running all over the parking lot, you can just drop the bags right over here. This is an excellent feature. And with this glass up, this is also pretty cool. You have a pretty good view of the rear wiper. But shutting it right up, we can take a step back, walk around this 2024 Chevy Tahoe RST Performance Edition one more time. This is a beautiful SUV. I feel like this year for 2024, we've been reviewing a ton of awesome 3-row SUVs, even performance 3-row SUVs. This one might be my favorite. So let's take this 2024 Chevy Tahoe RST Performance Edition out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Chevy Tahoe RST Performance Edition. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. We're gonna start off in sport because the steering gets a little bit heavier in sport and the throttle gets a little bit more sensitive, but outside of that, there's really no differences. So, my first impressions are the brakes. The Silverado, Tahoe, Suburban, they don't have the best brake feel in the business. It's a little bit mushy in the beginning. You gotta press them a little bit more than a quarter of the way to really start feeling a bite. That is not the case here. This feels like Camaro brakes. The suspension also feels like Camaro suspension, and this is stiff. I don't know if I would option in this package simply because of the suspension. Yes, it's a police grade suspension. It's this heavy duty, boom, like you feel the bumps, but you really don't lose a lot of stability in the chassis when you hit them as opposed to just a regular Tahoe. Let's try out an acceleration off the line, try out these Pursuit tires in four-wheel drive auto mode on the S. Oh yeah. Gets the speed nice and quickly, and these brakes do an unbelievable job of slowing this thing down. We don't have a higher rollover risk on this SUV either. Yeah, the suspension's a little bit rough, but let's throw it in a little bit quicker than we should. Yeah, the body roll's limited. Powering out of the turn handles really well, and I'm liking this induction note. I'm loving these brakes. I would option this package simply because of the brakes, and I would choose to think twice simply because of the suspension. About quarter throttle, good torque, crisp shifts, and you can feel that grunt too, or hear that grunt with that cold air intake system. Yeah, you definitely feel the bumps. As far as isolation from the road from a bump perspective, it handles a little bit closer to a sports car, but as far as performance and acceleration and induction note, it also performs a little bit like a sports car. One thing I gotta say, I wish we had our paddle shifters. I know it's not really a big deal with a vehicle in this segment. I don't think any Tahoe or Suburban has paddle shifters, but I would like to see them here. Oh, that induction is so beefy. I think this cold air intake makes more of a difference to this exhaust than this, or to the sound of this vehicle than the exhaust. We reviewed a few Silverados recently with the active exhaust, and this catback sounds just about the same as the active exhaust in its sport mode. It's just there's no mode to really quiet it down. Or I'm not gonna say that. We'll try it out in normal mode in a minute and see if it gets quiet down. With the cylinder deactivation though, you don't get even a slight hint of drone. Yeah, the body roll is just also non-existent. Steering feels good. Yeah, you hear the bumps, but to be expected with a performance edition trim. We'll try another acceleration off the line once we get past this little dirt patch. We'll throw it into two-wheel drive high, and that's another cool reason to go with this vehicle because, yes, you have the grip for the high performance accelerations, and then if you want to do a burnout, you can. You press these buttons right over here. Not even sure if this thing will do a burnout, but on the gas, woo, a little bit. Yeah, it feels a little bit peppier too in the two-wheel drive mode. And it gripped pretty well off the line. These Pursuit tires do a pretty good job of putting this power down, this extra power as well. Yeah, the ride is the only thing I'm not too thrilled about this package with. Woo. Everything else, pretty freaking awesome. The brakes are definitely my favorite. And from a luxury perspective too, outside of the lack of ventilated seats, I got absolutely zero complaints with how premium this vehicle feels. We'll take a step out onto this multiple lane highway, open her up a little bit more, see how the isolation is from the road at higher speeds, and I'll catch right back with you. All right guys, taking a step out here, we can open her up a little bit more. Woo! Good Lord. Yeah, this thing can fly. I'm not gonna say that it's faster than an Expedition with the 3.5, especially not with the high output, but compared to the regular output Expedition with the 3.5, this feels just as quick while giving you a way cooler sounding exhaust induction note. Oh, and that instant torque you're not getting with the Expedition. Overall, guys, this thing is amazing. At higher speeds, take a listen. You don't hear any drone, you don't hear any wind noise, and with these Firehawk Pursuit tires, you don't really hear any road noise. Once you lean into the throttle, you start to hear this V8 again, but it sounds really good, so why wouldn't you want to hear this V8 as much as you could? Overall, guys, if you're looking for a luxury 3-row SUV, but you just don't like how soft most of the new luxury 3-row SUVs are becoming, you want a little bit of beef, a little bit of muscle behind your vehicle, I really don't see how you're going to get something better than this. Yeah, we're approaching the $80,000 price point. We're past the $80,000 price point, but I'm willing to say that this thing is worth it. It is fast, low 5 seconds 0 to 60. That's competitive with vehicles like the BMW X7. It's more spacious than an X7, and you'll be surprised at how well this thing can handle. I promise you, take it out for a drive, it can handle just about as good as a BMW X7, and compared to that, the X7 starts at 88 grand. So fully loaded Tahoe RST performance package, it's keeping up with an X7. It's gonna be able to handle just as good as an X7, and it has more space for the passengers than an X7. And if that's what you're looking for, guys, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2024 Chevy Tahoe RST Performance Edition. And a big thanks to Zach and the rest of the management and staff here at Furman Chevy in Brandon, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Zach. And huge thanks to all of you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.